Hello everyone, welcome to Joyroute-jojo. This is the seventh video in Microsoft 365 tutorial series. In this video, we are going to learn how to add custom domain in Microsoft 365. I have logged into Microsoft 365 Admin Center. In the left-hand side blade, you could see settings and domain. Click on domain, and here you have the option to add custom domain to Microsoft 365. In my Microsoft 365 Admin Center, you could see certain domains over here. And you could see a custom domain here. And this is the default domain. This is default domain that created Microsoft itself when we created the tenant name. The tenant name will be always on Microsoft.com. So this is the tenant name and it is created by Microsoft itself. Before adding a custom domain, we need to plan the custom domain for your Microsoft 365 deployment. There are several factors an organization must consider when planning to add custom domain to Microsoft 365. These factors can differ with Microsoft 365 subscription it select. So what are those factors? The first thing, multiple domains. You can add multiple domains into Microsoft 365 Admin Center. An organization should plan to add the main domain that it is currently uses. For example, datum.com, this is my main domain. So I'm going to add this first. It should also add any other domain that it uses for email messages within the organization. For example, I'm also have condoso.com. So this domain also I can add there. This scenario is common when overall company is a business group. The other factor which we have to consider is subdomains. An organization may want to register subdomains. Microsoft 365 Business Premium and Enterprise Plan enable subdomains to be added under the root domain. For example, londoncollege.com. This is my root domain. All right. So under this root domain, I can create subdomains. Subdomains also should be registered with public DNS. We should be purchased and we should have a subdomain from the domain providers. So this is my main domain and I'm going to have a subdomain in the name of londoncollege.com or the other name students.londoncollege.com. You can have subdomains. So an organization may want to register subdomains. Microsoft 365 Business Premium Enterprise Plan enables subdomains to be added under the root domain. So our root domain is londoncollege.com and teacher.londoncollege.com is the subdomain. All right. Now domain numbers. Here you can add up to 900 domains in Microsoft 365. Microsoft 365 support you to add register up to 900 domains with Microsoft 365. And domain adding order, that is the other factor. Root domain must be added before subdomains, which means londoncollege.co must be added first. Only then you should add teacher.londoncollege.com, students.londoncollege.com, all the subdomains. And there are many other factors that to be considered while adding a custom domain to Microsoft 365. These are the main factors that should be considered first. So let us practically try to add a domain to Microsoft 365 Admin Center. For that, let me click on Add a Domain here. It is asking me for the domain name. I'm giving the domain name here as Joyroute-jojo. So how to add the domain? They have provided a video here that you can watch that video if you want. You have to purchase this domain from any domain providers. You can purchase it either from GoDaddy, Namecheap, Google Domains, Bluehost, Domain.com, Hover, Cloudflare, Register. So all these are the common or the famous domain providers. You can purchase it from any of these. So normally we use GoDaddy. So I consider I have purchased this from GoDaddy. So how to register this? We have to add some records to in the public domain provider from the public DNS record. For example, GoDaddy, you have to add it. So let us see how we can add that. All right. So I'm just clicking on use this domain. It should have .com. All right. Let me click on use this domain. So it is asking me to add some txt record to the domain DNS record. All right. So how we can add that? For that, what you have to do, you have to go to GoDaddy. This is the GoDaddy site, and under GoDaddy, here you have to select DNS, and under DNS record, add a new record, and here you can add a TXT record. So consider I'm going to add a TXT record. Let me click on continue, and TXT record name is given here, value is given. As you can see in the screenshot, we have to give the name, value, and TTL value. We have to give the TXT value and TTL. So all these three items we have to provide even in the DNS record. After providing this, you can verify. We have to click on verify. Microsoft 365 will verify with public DNS. Apart from TXT, we have to add several other records with public DNS provider. So what are those records? Let us discuss what are the essential DNS record for Microsoft 365. All right. The first one is nothing but TXT record. Why we required this TXT record? The purpose is used for domain verification and email security. That is the purpose of TXT record. Microsoft 365 asks you to add TXT record to confirm ownership of your domain. You are registering your ownership. So the second benefit of adding TXT record is for SPF, Sender Policy Framework, which helps prevent email spoofing by specifying which mail servers are authorized to send emails from your domain. So we are specifying the mail server which are authorized to send emails for your domain so that we can avoid email spoofing. So for these two purposes, we use TXT record to our ownership to prevent email spoofing. So while adding this TXT record in the public DNS, even in the GoDaddy, we can prove our ownership. We can prevent email spoofing. All right. And the second record is nothing but MS record. Purpose of MS record is to direct email to correct server responsible for receiving emails for your domain. The other important record is SPF record, Sender Policy Framework. As I told you just before, it is part of TXT record. SPF specifies the IP address and the domain authorized to send emails on behalf of your domain. SPF record prevent email spoofing. So the another essential DNS record is nothing but CNAME record. The purpose of CNAME record is that it maps an alias name to true domain name, which is useful for directing traffic to Microsoft 365 services, often used to redirect traffic to specific services. For example, you might add CNAME records for the service like Auto Discover for Exchange Online, or enterprise registration and enterprise enrollment for device management. For all this purpose, you can use CNAME. The other record is nothing but SRV record. This defines the location, host name, and port of servers for specific services. If you consider its usage, used to primarily for Skype for Business or Microsoft Teams, it helps Microsoft 365 clients to discover services like instant messaging and other Microsoft 365 communication tools. So that is the purpose of SRV record. So we have to add these records in GoDaddy or any other public DNS providers. Only then our domain get healthy. As you can see here, this particular domain shows us healthy, which means all the records are properly provided in GoDaddy or in the public DNS provider. I think that is enough for the day. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions or suggestions, please mark it in the comment section. If you like this video, please do subscribe and support me. That's it. Thanks for watching this video. Goodbye.